was so exciting because Adrian left rehearsal to go there, and I knew that he was presenting to Best Actor, and I almost was like, Adrian, you better make this happen.
Oh, did you almost like slip him a 50 and like, Michael B, whatever it says, Michael B, what you're reading. Yeah.
Exactly. But thankfully he didn't need my help. It was already happening. But I was so excited for him and just, I'm like over the moon for.
What if one of the strongest connections in Hollywood wasn't even part of the script in the first place? Two insanely talented stars from the same era keep crossing paths again and again, like something keeps pulling them back together, and somehow people still say it's just acting. But that story starts to fall apart when the chemistry hits this hard, this smooth, this real. It doesn't look forced at all. It feels natural, like something you can't fake, even if you tried.
These guys right here?
Charming you were, what your dimples look like. Yes, how you move them. Like that. Did you do that? Did you watch it again? I did.
You did?
No, I did.
Fans aren't missing a thing either. They've been locked in, catching every small glance, every subtle moment that doesn't feel staged or planned. And now, the pieces they're putting together might flip the whole narrative upside down and change how everyone sees this situation completely. Welcome back to Fame Thunder. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. It takes 2 seconds, but it really makes a difference. This kind of story never starts loud or obvious. It starts low-key, almost quiet, like something you feel before a single word is even said. It's in a look, a vibe, a shift in the room that makes people turn their heads without even knowing why. That subtle tension, that natural pull, that's what gets people hooked instantly. And when it comes to Michael B. Jordan and Tessa Thompson, that exact spark is what keeps people watching, questioning, and coming back for more every single time. Now step into Michael B.
I love him so much. I was so proud of him. He's been working since he was 9, right? Yeah. This is like the culmination of so much that I just felt like I got to be his proud friend and on set, his proud wife. Like every day at work, I was like, that's my man.
Jordan's journey, because his story definitely didn't start at the top. Born in Santa Ana, California, and raised in Newark, New Jersey, nothing was just handed to him. He had to grind, build, and prove himself step by step until his name carried real weight in Hollywood. And what really sets him apart is simple. He doesn't just play roles, he fully becomes them, switching it up every single time in a way that hits different. It feels like a full reset every single time, like he steps into a whole new version of himself. Nothing comes off recycled, nothing feels shallow, it's always deeper, sharper, more locked in. Then Black Panther flipped everything upside down. His presence hit on a whole different level, and his physical transformation had the internet going crazy. Suddenly, he wasn't just respected, he became the standard. He turned into that kind of presence that doesn't need to chase attention because it already owns the room the second he shows up. But then you've got Tessa Thompson, and her energy moves completely different, but it's just as powerful. She operates with a level of control and intention that people don't always catch right away, even though it deserves way more spotlight. She's not just keeping pace, she's standing out in her own lane. What really separates her is how precise she is with everything she does. Every move feels planned, every performance hits with purpose, and even when she's on screen with big names like Idris Elba and Chris Hemsworth, she never blends into the background. She holds her ground and makes sure her presence is felt, just in a more calm, controlled way, but it lands just as strong. That kind of presence can't be faked, and it's definitely not something you see every day. On their own, they're already powerful, that part is obvious. But when their paths start crossing, that's when people start noticing something deeper going on. Take it back to 2015 with Creed, where Michael steps into Adonis Creed, a fighter trying to build his own name while carrying a legacy way bigger than himself. Even though Tessa wasn't part of that very first moment, they were already moving in the same creative lane, connected by the same vision and direction. It was only a matter of time before everything lined up. Then 2018 hits, and that's when it all clicks into place. Creed 2 brings Tessa in as Bianca, and now the dynamic is fully on display for everyone to see. She's not just another character in the story, she becomes the emotional core, the balance, the one holding everything steady. And Michael meets that energy head-on with a performance that feels raw, grounded, and real in a way that hits hard. The connection between them doesn't feel pushed or overdone. It feels smooth, natural, almost too real at times, like it goes beyond just lines on a script. At the same time, Ryan Coogler has them both tied into the same cultural wave with Black Panther. Even without sharing scenes, the timing overlaps in a way that feels way too aligned to ignore. And then the press tour kicks off and everything shifts again. Now they're showing up together, moving in sync, matching each other's energy without even trying, and people definitely start noticing. That's when the conversation really takes off. Because now it's not just about acting anymore, it's about presence, body language, timing, and how effortlessly they bounce off each other in every interaction. People start paying way closer attention not just to what they're saying, but how they move, how they react, and how natural everything feels between them. It's in the small moments, the little reactions, the comfort that doesn't look rehearsed at all. And once that question gets stuck in your head, where does the acting stop and where does something real actually begin? It doesn't just disappear. It lingers, and suddenly every interaction starts to look different. That brings everything right back to that spark. No matter how you break it down, the roles, the timeline, all the shared moments, that underlying energy keeps showing up again and again. It's subtle, but it's always there, never forced, never clearly explained, but definitely felt. The speculation didn't just grow, it completely blew up. Because here's the part that really keeps people talking: they never fully shut the rumors down. And if you understand how celebrity PR plays out, then you already know that kind of silence can be very intentional. Now, this is the part people have really been waiting on: the rumors, the fan theories, all of it. But we're keeping this fair, grounded, and based on what's actually out there. We're looking at what fans have noticed, what's been publicly reported, and what Michael B. Jordan and Tessa Thompson have actually said themselves. Nothing made up, nothing extra. Honestly, we don't even need to stretch anything, because what's already out there is interesting enough by itself. The first major wave of shipping, that's what fans call it when they want two people together, really took off during the Black Panther press tour. Suddenly, photos and video clips of Michael and Tessa were everywhere, coming from all kinds of press events. But fans didn't just watch, they started analyzing everything. People were putting together what looked like full-on case files, like detailed breakdowns of moments that didn't feel random at all. Every clip, every angle, every second got attention. One of the first things people locked in on was the way he looks at her. Not just a casual, my co-star is talking kind of glance, but something way more focused, way more locked in. The kind of look where he goes completely still, like everything around him just fades out for a second. And fans caught all of it. They screenshotted it, slowed it down, replayed it, and picked it apart frame by frame, trying to understand what they were really seeing. Frame by frame, people were breaking everything down. Full video analyses just focused on those tiny moments. And then comes point two, the body language. Yes, it gets that deep, with entire fan groups dedicated to studying this kind of stuff. Across multiple interviews and public appearances, people kept noticing the same pattern: Michael and Tessa mirroring each other without even realizing it. Leaning in at the same time, turning toward each other mid-conversation, matching energy naturally. It just kept happening again and again. There's actually a real term for this: postural echo. It's known as a subconscious sign of a strong connection or attraction, and fans were quick to point out how often it showed up with these two. That detail alone had people talking nonstop. Then there's another moment that really stood out. In a 2018 press roundtable, Michael was asked about working with strong women in Hollywood, and without hesitation, the first name he brought up was Tessa! Not in a casual way either. There was clear respect in how he said it, and people picked up on that instantly. Of course, fans clipped that moment right away, and once it hit the internet, it spread fast across every platform. Now here's one fans really couldn't stop talking about. During the Creed 2 press tour in New York, Michael and Tessa arrived at a premiere in the same car. On the surface, sure, that could just be normal Hollywood logistics, nothing too wild. But fans didn't leave it there. They zoomed in on every detail and quickly pointed out something else. They didn't just arrive together, they left together too. And on top of that, Michael opened the door for her twice. That one small moment had people talking instantly, like it meant way more than it looked on the surface. Now let's keep it real. None of this is solid proof of a romantic relationship, not even close. But that's not why this story stuck the way it did. What really pulls people in is the pattern. It's not just one clip, one event, or one interview. It's years of consistent interactions that feel noticeably different from how either of them acts with other co-stars. And the internet? It took that and ran with it at full speed. We're talking fan fiction, edit videos, deep dive threads, breaking down every little moment. This turned into a whole world of its own. The hashtag Tessa and Michael Forever didn't just appear out of nowhere. It started trending again and again throughout 2018 and 2019. At that point, people were split. Either these two were secretly together, or they were such convincing performers that they accidentally had the entire internet believing something real was going on. Either way, fans felt like they were winning, and that's exactly why this fandom stayed so locked in and active. But here's where things start to shift, because it didn't stay in fan theory territory forever. At a certain point, actual reported rumors started showing up, not just speculation anymore, but real tabloid stories entering the conversation and changing the tone completely. By 2019, multiple entertainment outlets started dropping blind items, and that's when things really picked up. These are those unconfirmed industry gossip posts where names aren't said directly, but the clues, way too obvious to ignore. The descriptions pointed to two Marvel-adjacent stars with undeniable chemistry, spending serious time together outside of work, and fans connected those dots almost instantly. It didn't take long before people were saying the quiet part out loud. Now, let's keep this grounded. Blind items are not journalism, not even close. But what they do reveal is the overall vibe behind the scenes in Hollywood. People talk, people notice patterns, and when similar whispers start popping up in different places, it grabs attention for a reason. So naturally, fans started digging even deeper, going back through old clips and moments that seemed to push the speculation even further. And this is where we get into the key moments, the ones people keep bringing up again and again. Even skeptics have a hard time brushing off moment number one. The 2018 Essence Black Women in Hollywood Awards, one of the most respected and high-profile events out there. Tessa Thompson was being honored that night, and Michael B. Jordan showed up too. Now sure, celebrities go to events all the time. That part isn't unusual. But fans were quick to point out that this moment felt a little different, and that's exactly why it stayed part of the conversation. So what is it really, a strong friendship, or something that doesn't fit into a clean label, but still feels real enough that people just can't ignore it? Fans have built their theories, tabloids dropped their blind items, and body language analysts went all in, breaking down every glance, every movement. And through all of that, Michael and Tessa have stayed quiet, and that silence, it's loud enough to keep the mystery going strong. Here's what really stands out though. When you watch the Creed films and see Tessa as Bianca looking at Adonis with that mix of love, exhaustion, and loyalty, you feel it. It doesn't come off like acting, it hits like something real, something deeper. And when Michael looks back at her with that calm, controlled tenderness, it lands every single time. Because yes, great acting can absolutely make you believe something is real. But what if it's more than that? That's the question that keeps coming back again and again. Maybe some of the most powerful moments we see on screen feel real because, in some way, they actually are. Because not every meaningful connection ends up in headlines. Not every story gets confirmed, explained, or exposed. Some things stay protected, out of reach, and maybe that's exactly why they feel so powerful. So now it comes down to you. What do you think is really behind the chemistry between Michael B? So what is it really when it comes to Michael B. Jordan and Tessa Thompson? Is this just two highly skilled actors doing their job at the absolute highest level, or is there something deeper underneath all of it? Something real, something intentional that people can feel but can't fully explain. And maybe that's exactly why this story keeps pulling people back in again and again. Not because there's a clear answer, but because there isn't one. Every look, every interview, every shared moment adds another layer to the story, but never the full picture. In a world where everything feels exposed, explained, and picked apart, this connection, whatever it truly is, still holds on to a bit of mystery. And that mystery, it keeps people watching, questioning, and forming their own opinions every single time. Because at the end of the day, whether it's friendship, chemistry, or something deeper that's never been confirmed, it's real enough to be felt. And sometimes that feeling hits stronger than any clear answer ever could. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think is really going on here? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to like this video, subscribe for more, and share this with someone who needs to see it.